What's up, guys? Well, the fight just ended. Actually, the interview just ended a few minutes ago for the Dave Allen versus Makhmudov fight. Congrats to Makhmudov. I actually did have him on the money line in a parlay. Um, that's still alive. So, so it was not a complete bust for me, but I did lose on the round props, which are always a risk. That's why the odds are so good. That's why they pay out so well. Very risky plays. Now, full disclosure, I cannot give a round 1 through 12 breakdown. Um because when the fight was starting, I was finishing up at work. All right. I was listening to and peeking at the first round. Where I was hoping Makhmudov got a stoppage and I would make a lot of money. All right. Um, but to Dave Allen, man, I say I'm not high on Dave Allen. You know, Dave Allen has my respect, man. He is a tough guy. He's durable. I knew that it would not be easy. That's why it was a plus 2,500 for him to get a first round knockout for Makhmudov to get to do that. So Dave Allen is a tough guy. He showed it again tonight. Makhmudov finishes a lot of guys in the first round, and Dave Allen is winning a full 12. That's very respectable. All right, so I respect Dave Allen. Now, having said that, again, the early rounds I really cannot comment on because I was finishing up at work, I was driving, all that. But from the time I was watching the fight, and you guys can tell me if this was the case in the early rounds, all right, up to the midway point of the fight. The knockout was right there for Makhmudov, man. He just did not do the right thing, all right. Dave Allen, for the most part in this fight, from the part of the fight that I saw, which was basically from the middle of the fight to the end. All right, Dave Allen had a high guard. He was coming forward. Makhmudov was basically throwing at the high guard, hitting him on the gloves, getting in between the guard, hitting him in the face. Clearly, you could see Dave Allen's face was pink/red. All right, but guys, in doing that, Dave Allen's midsection was right there to be hit. Right down the middle, that big belly was exposed. It was there to get hit. All Makhmudov had to do was throw at it. You know, I saw him throw at the body. It seemed like it was only once or twice from the time I was really watching the fight. If he had thrown to the body more, he could have stopped Dave Allen, man. He no doubt about it. So as hard as this guy hits, man, he could have stopped Dave Allen. You would think that he would have learned about body punching from what Caballero did to him. You know, where was the corner? Where was the instruction at? I mean, if I can see it as a fan watching it, why aren't these high level trainers telling him that the body's there to be hit? You know, it could have been disguised well. Dave Allen would not have closed up fast enough while he was throwing those shots to the head. All he had to do was have do a little separation, touching with the jab a little bit, to the head, to that high guard, and then just throw a hard, fast shot to the midsection, square in the middle of his stomach. Dave Allen would have folded over. He would have went down, all right. And even if he would have taken the shot, he could not take that too much, all right. Just one or two of those, and his hands probably would have gotten low. He would have been thinking more about protecting his body. But as big and as hard as this guy is, man, as hard as he hits, if he would have been landing flush straight right hands to Dave Allen's stomach, similar to what Caballero did to Frank Sanchez when he ended that fight, hit him right in the middle of the stomach, and Frank Sanchez folded over. All right, it was there all night for Makhmudov to land on Dave Allen. All right, he didn't do it. He steady going to the head, still throwing to the head, still throwing to that high guard. That was Dave Allen's strategy, was to basically make the guy tired and try to take over. That's what it seemed like to me. But I think in the process, Dave Allen was getting tired himself. Really didn't have what he wanted to have. I only from what I saw, I only gave Dave Allen, I think, what was the ninth round. When he landed those shots, made me look like he was fading and going up against the rope too much, getting hit with uppercuts and overhand rights and shit. I was getting nervous he was gonna get stopped, man. But he hung tough. The 11th round, Makhmudov was pissing me off. He was giving away his height and his size advantage. I know the guy was tired, but still, he needed to separate. He was actually stepping to Dave Allen. Dave Allen landing uppercuts and landing shots. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Stay away from the guy. Now I will give Makhmudov credit. He was being smart and tying up with Dave Allen. The commentators didn't like it. They were talking about him getting a point taken. Thankfully, Gray only took a point at the end of the fight for that. I think the other point was like for a forearm or something. But some other refs probably would have told him to stop holding, or they would have taken more points and disqualified him. But that was smart strategy, to protect himself. Allen getting in punching range, getting close, tie him up. So he can't land on you. Also, you putting all that weight on him to tire him out. So that was a good strategy. That was smart by Makhmudov, but the knockout was there for him. It was right in front of him. He just did not take advantage of it. All right. But salute to both men, man. That was a long, grueling fight. Heavyweights like that, man, going a full 36 minutes. That's very tiring, man. It's very dramatic because you don't know, one punch and that tire steak could end the fight. So, and it take a lot of heart and courage. All that weight going 36 minutes, all those heavy punches coming at you. I salute both men, man. That was, a hell of a fight. And salute to Makhmudov. He clearly won that fight, despite the 2 points being taken. So, really, that's it, guys. Quicker for me. Let me know what you guys think about the fight. I hope you guys made a profit, or still in the game with this fight. Let me know what you thought about it, and I'll check in with you guys soon. Thanks for watching.